Good afternoon, everybody. For Saturday, March the 10th, 2012, my name is Hubert O'Hearn, and this is a book and a martini. This is a martini. We've got several books, so let's get to it. Cheers. Don't know how the weather is where you are today, but up here in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada, it's an absolutely gorgeous day. So therefore, of course, I'm indoors and I'm talking about books. I've got a few to go through with you, but I want to read you something from a really nifty little book called Architectures of Possibility After Innovative Writing. And I ran across a passage that I think kind of ties together the three books I want to talk about today. The author, whose name is Lance Olson, talks about the relativity of art and entertainment, and he says that art deliberately slows and complicates reading, hearing, and or viewing so that we are challenged to rethink and refeel form and experience. Entertainment deliberately accelerates and simplifies them so we don't have to think about or feel very much of anything at all except maybe the adrenaline rush before spectacle. Nothing wrong at all about entertainment and spectacle. I mean, it's the whole reason why we watch the NFL, the NBA, and so on and so forth. But if you're looking for a little meat to go in your life, or if you're vegan, some darn fine tofu, I've got three books that I think you'll really enjoy. First one, Ralph Nader. Getting Steam to Overcome Corporatism. Excellent book, and I'm hoping to be interviewing Nader in the next couple of weeks. What's most interesting about this book is how it's laid out, in that it's not particularly organized. Instead, it's a series of very short half-page to a little over a page each of, we'll call them what they are, atrocities. For instance, if I told you that there was a country in the world where over 40 million people required government assistance in order to purchase food, over 10% of the people in that country were drinking unsafe drinking water, that they were being cut off from the ability to sue businesses and corporations when they had unsafe products and so forth. What country would that be? Well, I'll tell you, you can put away the map of Africa. It's the United States of America. Ralph Nader is a true hero, and he's a true hero of mine. He should be a true hero of yours. He spent almost 50 years fighting for the consumer, that would be you and me, and I highly recommend that you pick up this book. Trust me, by the end of it, you're going to be pissed off and you're going to want to take action. Next book. Couldn't be more different. This one is a novel called The Holly Brown Chronicles. Came out 2 years ago in 2010 and written by Jess Alexander. Now, in the interest of openness and being honest to you all, Jess runs the Herald de Paris online newspaper, for which I'm extremely happy to write. One moment. What do you think of Jess? You think Martini, okay? I'm delighted to write for it because Jess did something really interesting with the Herald, or Herald, she has eliminated all advertising from the site because she wants all the news and opinion that goes into it to be completely unbiased. Now, you may be thinking that because she's my publisher and editor that I'm biased towards her book. I'm not. I really loved it. It's a riot. You probably don't know this, but I've been writing a television column in Canada for the better part of 12 years now. It's called Inside Television. Jess, in the Holly Brown Chronicles, absolutely nails celebrity and television and so forth, there's an extraordinarily thinly disguised, it couldn't be less disguised if it was wrapped in saran, of Oprah Winfrey and also Martha Stewart. It's a joy to read. It's hilarious. It's also very empowering to women too. Highly recommend it. You can find it at Amazon. No problem at all. Third book. This one is upcoming for those of you in North America, although it has already been published in Great Britain. And yeah, we haven't cut the hair yet, and you know what? We ain't going to. This one, and this is the galley of it. Let me get that somehow framed. There we are. The Absolutist by the Irish author John Boyne. I was, no exaggeration now, I was actually moved to tears by this book. It's set in well, it actually has two time frames. It's set in World War I, specifically 1916, also just afterwards in 1919. There was a book I reviewed last year about the war poets of Great Britain that was called The Red Sweet Wine of Youth by Nicholas Murray. As I was reading that one, I had a question in my head. Why on earth did any gay man choose to fight in World War I? It was less than 20 years since Oscar Wilde had been thrown in Reading jail. It would be another half a century before the sodomy laws in Great Britain would be reformed. What was the purpose of it? Why do it? Homosexuality was absolutely shameful. There was another thing that was absolutely shameful at that time, and that was to refuse to fight. If you refused to fight in the trenches, you were put on stretcher duty, which meant that you went over the top, as the phrase was, to recover bodies. Stretcher bearer had an average lifespan of 10 minutes. Think about that. Not much of a choice, is it? Okay, you can take up arms and probably die, or you can be a conscientious objector and go on stretcher duty and probably die. Or your third choice was to be a conscientious objector, go to jail in Britain, or absolutely refuse everything and be shunned by the people in your hometown or a city, all of whom had lost sons, husbands, lovers, brothers, cousins in the war. It's a brilliant book. What is particularly brilliant about it is that Boyne respects the intelligence of the reader. He doesn't lay all the meanings of everything that happens right out to you. You get to discover. That book is being published in North America in April of 2012, April 15th to be precise. As I say, it's already been released in the UK. Boyne also wrote The House of Special Purpose, which is one of the better novels I've read in the last 2 years, so I can unreservedly say that I'm a massive fan of his. Look for that one. Have a little bit of time left, so time for a short slurp. One thing that I really would appreciate, if you happen to visit buythebookreviews.com, there's also a dedicated Facebook page to it. I would really appreciate your comments and suggestions for things to read. I was asked on the Facebook page, how do I pick what books to review? And honestly, sometimes it's from readers like you, sometimes it's from the publicists at the publishing houses, sometimes it's from Twitter feeds. When an author follows me on Twitter, I do at the very least drop my microphone. The stupid little clip thing broke on this, okay? Pardon me. But also independent publicists at a firm like PR by the Book, based out of Austin, Texas, who have never led me wrong. But if you know of a book coming up, if you've written a book coming up, let me know. You can contact me through the comments section, and I'm pretty sure that there's also a link to my email, or you can just plain comment on this video. So, for now, thank you so much for watching. Here's to ya. And as always, in tribute to our dear late friend, the great Tom Snyder, from those of us who work the late shift, good night, everybody.